All right, let's dive into the topics that we're going to discuss today. So the first topic is going to be training skill sets in executive protection. Then we're going to move on to selecting a training provider, one of my favorites. Then we're going to talk about compliance and liability. Then move on to maintaining training and compliance during a high op tempo. Then last, training KPIs for QBRs. KPIs are key performance indicators that you can present to the board during your QBRs, which is quarterly business reviews. So those are the topics that we're going to discuss today, and let's get started. All right, let's dive into our first topic, training skill sets in executive protection. Now, when I say that, this is something that as a training provider, I need to understand what the end user is doing, which is the client or corporation. Okay, so I'm not, we can talk all day about training skill sets, but this is what I need to understand for me to once again build a proper sustainment training program for a client. So I go, what type of program are they running? What does the program entail? And who's it for? So when we talk about the type of program, is it executive protection program? Is it a diplomatic or dignitary program that LE needs to know to, support protection teams for, mayors and, governors, or support Secret Service or Department of Justice, or just even understand how to function around these teams when they roll into their area. Residential. Then we have HVA, which is high valued assets, which is like it's total protection because high valued assets could be people, places, or things, right? Then we move into, is it a surveillance program? Is it a surveillance detection program? Is it a protective surveillance program that is surveillance to protect the protection team that's protecting the principal? Then we have, the ERT, the emergency response teams, or the SRT, the security response teams. Then we have event security. Are they doing security at an event, or is it event security wanting to know how to support EP teams when they come on venues? So that's the programs that I want to have a deeper understanding of what they're doing. Then we go into who's it for? Is it for a CEO? C-suite executive? Is it for family members, children? Is it for a high-profile public figure? Then, we have done it before. Is it ex-wives, girlfriends? Is it down to asset protection? And then last, it's a unique one, which is POIs and BOLOs for tracking and monitoring. So that's the second thing I want to try to understand. Then also too, the third is what does the detail entail? Like what type of roles are on the team? What type of additional duties outside of protection do they have? Is it regarding administration and logistics? Is it for the embedded team, or is it also for the embedded team to work with contract or subcontract teams coming in? And last, does the team have support elements? Do they have surveillance detection teams? Do they have a GSOC, a Global Security Operations Centers? Is there a co-pro team? Do they have event security or static uniform guards to support them when they're on campus or at the corporate office, or residential teams, right? So those are the three subjects that I start narrowing down, right? That I want to know to be able to provide customized training. Then I need to know equipment. Are they armed, unarmed? Do they carry non-lethal, cuffing? What type of medical equipment do they carry on their persons in the car, at the residence, at the corporation? Is TSCM involved? What type of radios or comms do they use? Or are they only using phones? And then also too, what type of apps? So these are the initial things that I need to know to provide the proper skill set for their team for sustainment training. Or they can, this is how we narrow it down to the micro, not the macro, when it comes to training.
Catalyst Training and Consulting Group. Comprehensive executive protection, consulting, training, and management. Learn more at catalysttraininggroup.com.